Welcome back to the snowy fields of Perthshire. Looks beautiful. We had some snow overnight, just about an inch, give or take. And we've got more on the way. We're expecting about 4 or 5 hours of heavy snow, starting in about an hour's time. And the sky is looking very snowy in the distance. Unfortunately though, just because it's snowy, it doesn't mean the ground's getting any softer, as you can see. So unfortunately, that means more best of videos and no detecting for the moment. So again, sit back and enjoy. Georgius II, by the grace of God. And what I thought was Uma at the bottom is actually Lima, L-I-M-A. And that's because this coin, which I believe is a shilling from 1745, you can see the clear date on the back. This was made from silver that was captured or looted by someone called Admiral Anson. And it was Spanish ships that were travelling from South America back to Spain. And several ships apparently were raided, and silver was stolen from them. So thank you for my various followers who left comments to let me know that that was exactly what the coin means. Looks like the XP Deus 2 might have produced our second bit of silver. That there looks like a coin. Came through a beautiful sound, very nice and loud. Let me just show you. Hopefully you can see that. 92. Beautiful, look at that. It's the best I can do. The soil's baked on. Georgius VI, by the grace of God, King of the Britons. And there he is. Beautifully toned coin. It's got this lovely off grey, almost black in colour because it's oxidised. And even better on the back, we've got Fid, Def, Ind, Imp, Defender of the Faith and Emperor of India. And it is half a crown, 1944, just 1 year before the end of the Second World War. 1944 was also the year of D-Day, if I remember rightly. The Allies landing in Normandy. Now look at that for scenery. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at the colours of the sea. And I've got it all to myself, this entire beach, which is about a mile across, and I'm the only person here. I think we might just have found gold. Either that or a gold ring pool. But it is absolutely shimmering. Look at that there. 2 spadefuls down. Beautiful signal. It's quite crisp. And I think we might just have... I think we've got a gold ring. That is a gold ring. I don't believe it. That's my first ever gold ring. That is a gold wedding band. A man's wedding band, I'm reckoning, because look at the size of it. That is pretty massive. Look, that's my wedding finger, and it easily goes on there. So we're looking for a man with very big hands. Look at that shimmering in the sun. Solid gold. It is, I believe, more silver. Now I can't see a hallmark on it anywhere, but I can't get all the sand out, and I'm nowhere near the water, so I don't really want to. But it looks like it's half of a book clasp type sort of, you know, like charm or something. Maybe you'd wear it on a necklace, or maybe you'd wear it on a bracelet. But it looks, whatever it is, like the hinge is broken, because there's the hinge just there. Looks like there's been a pin through it which has vanished, and there's a little suspension loop. Now it actually looks like there's engraving on the inside, and there is writing on the inside by the looks of it. But my eyesight is beyond being able to do that. I will try and take a photograph of it, and then we can see if we can make out what it might be. Because, yeah, it is pretty tiny, whatever it is. My little lucky charm Alice has, look what we think she's found. Do you see that? I think we've hit gold again, twice in 2 weeks. Right, Alice, have a closer look. Is it a ring?
Yes.
It is a massive ring again. Or pretty big anyway. And it looks pretty gold to me. It looks like another man's wedding band. Maybe lots of people come to Barra and decide that they don't love their wives anymore and throw the rings away in the beach. Or maybe they just slip off when they're swimming and putting suntan lotion on. Another find. It's a shame that someone's lost that. But it's in mint condition and it looks gold to me. Are we agreeing it's gold?
It's gold.
It is gold. Right, we'll have a look for some hallmarks on it when we get home. But looking at the condition of it, it looks like it's solid gold to me, and it's very heavy. You might recognise that Martin is smiling as he's coming walking over towards me. Now, he's already shouted hammered, and I thought possibly he was winding me up. But you know what? He's not winding me up. He has got a hammered coin. And it's your lucky day, Martin, because look, ta-da!
Sun cream.
Sun cream. Well, it used to be sun cream, but now it's got water in it. But when you spray it, it smells like sun cream. Martin with a hammered silver. Looks in pretty good condition. I think we're going to be able to date it anyway. It smells like sun cream though, doesn't it? What do you reckon? Is it cracked?
Smells nice.
It smells good. That is a hammered coin. Give us a look. Give us a look. So the shield on the back, 3 fleur-de-lis, the flowers of the lily, top left and bottom right. I can just make out them top left there as well, and bottom left and top right is 3 lions of England, which means it's an English coin, not a Scottish one. And I had my suspicions, and I can just make out a head wearing a crown facing to the left hand side. Do you see that? That is Queen Elizabeth I of England, the Virgin Queen, cousin to Mary Queen of Scots. Around the edge, I think it says something along the lines of, if I remember, Elizabeth Rosa Spina, or words to that effect. Elizabeth a rose without a thorn is what the translation is, or thereabouts. And I think that's either a half groat, which would be 2 pence, or a threepence. And normally if it's a half groat, there's 2 little dots just there, and I don't see any sign of dots, so I'm going to guess that that is a threepence. I'm pretty sure threepences don't carry a date on them. I certainly don't see one. Let's get a closer look. Nope, don't see a date on there. So Elizabeth I ruled from 1557 or thereabouts until 1603. She famously had her own cousin, Mary Queen of Scots, executed after almost 20 years of imprisonment. She signed her death papers, and ironically it was Elizabeth I was replaced by Mary Queen of Scots' son, James VI, in 1603. He went from becoming James VI of Scotland to also becoming James I of England, and that was to later lead, almost 100 years later in 1707, to Scotland joining into political union with England. the United Kingdom. Brilliant, well done Martin. Martin's brought something over, so let's have a look at that first and then we'll figure out what I'm doing. Oh, looks like Martin has got himself a little... Is that a cap badge? It could be a little cap badge. You can see a loop on the back where it was attached, and it's got some letters stamped on the bottom. KIA, and then it looks like there it's KAH. There's also some letters there as well. Could it be Polish or Russian or something? We are on an old military site, so... Ah, I did see a coin. Martin's found it with his probe. I was looking in the wrong place. So yeah, I'd say that is a cap badge, military, but I've got no idea, I haven't had one of them before. If you know what it is, then let us know in the comments below. I'm guessing World War II era, 1940s, maybe through to the 1950s. Let us know in the comments below. Well done Marty, you're on fire. Trying to get out the light, there we go. 81, solid 81. And Martin's just shouted, he shouted Roman. Martin has shouted Roman, right. Damn, he's always stealing my thunder. Right, let's go and see what he's got this time. We've got the suntan lotion bottle out again. Smells great. Oh, that's a beauty. That is a Roman. 100%, that is a Roman. Give us a look. Get the bendy thumb on it. Dry it out a little bit. Oh, it's a beauty, Marty. It is a beauty. Right, what have we got? We've got a head looking to the right hand side. You can see the letter C-O-N-S-T. So it's going to be one of the Constantines. So it's either going to be Constantius, Constantine the Great, or thereabouts, which is the beginning of the 4th century. Maybe 330, 360, something like that. Could even be Constantine the Great. And on the other side, give it a wee bendy thumb rub. We have got two figures standing kind of next to almost like an altar or a totem pole type thing. And at the bottom, ASIS. And we've had quite a few of these in the past. That's a mint mark. Was it Asis means Sisica? Is that what it is?
Which is Croatia, I think.
Sisica, which we think is in modern day Croatia. We've had a number of the coins off these fields that have all got that same mint mark. And we're fairly convinced that there's been several scattered hoards. There have been several hoards that were found of the Roman period off these fields, including one silver one, but quite a number of these 4th century coins have appeared in really good condition. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's another from a scattered hoard. Either way, it's a beautiful coin, and it is 1,700 years old, give or take. Excellent, Martin. You're on fire today. Right, I think that might be a bit of lead, or it's a big stone. Oh. Right. That's it, it's coming. It's coming. Oh, it's heavy. It is heavy. Look at that. That is a massive big bit of lead. I think that could be a great big weight. Well done to the XP Deus 2, and talk about in the nick of time, because you'll spot while I was finishing digging that hole, the coil has ran out of battery, turned itself off. That has got to be my deepest find I think I've had with the XP Deus 2 so far. I measured it with a probe, 15 inches, but look at the size of it. Also lucky I've got my wee scooshy bottle with me, because I was able to give it a clean, otherwise I would never have got all that soil out. I'm nowhere near any water, but that is a massive, massive big lead weight. It's got a lot of age to it. It's crudely made. It has got the typical white colour. It's been in the ground for a long time. Can't see any markings on it. It's been damaged in a few places, not by me, probably just rattling about with the plough over the years. And you can see it's got a suspension loop in it. It looks like it is copper or copper alloy, or maybe even bronze that's been inset. But as I say, I can't see any markings. I'll weigh it when I get home just to see what it weighs, but I think that's a pretty ancient find. I wouldn't be surprised if that's medieval, if that's 600, 700, 800 years old, 1,000 years old, and you know what, it could even be from the Roman or the Iron Age period. Look at that. Now that, folks, is a hammered silver coin. You beauty. On the other side, not a lot, to be quite honest. Pretty bare, pretty barren. Let's get the spray bottle out, see if we can bring this to life a little bit. Right, so we'll start with the head side. You can clearly see a face there. So there's a bit of detail. Hopefully the other side will come better with a wee bit of water. Oh, it's not in the best of condition, is it? But at least we can tell what it is. Right, let's get a closer look. Try and get you out the wind, try and get you in focus, and try and get to see what we've actually got. But you can clearly see there a face, slap bang in the middle. You can see the chin at the bottom, the shoulders. You can make out a little bit of the crown and some of the hair at the side. And on the back, it's not in great condition. It's well worn. You can just make out a cross going up and down, a little bit of it going to the right hand side, and 3 dots here, 3 dots there. There would be 3 dots in each of the 4 quarters, and it looks like we've got a hammered silver penny. I'm guessing it's probably going to be one of the Edwards of England. It's normally the most common hammered silver coin that we find. Edward I ruled from around about 1250, 1260. He died in the very early 1300s or the very late 1200s. He was most famously known as Longshanks Edward I, King of England, because he had incredibly long legs. Your shanks were your leg or legs, and he was very tall for his age and for the time. He was then followed by Edward II and Edward III, and I think they basically ruled for about 100 years between the 3 of them. So 1250, 1260 through to 1350, 1360. So if that is one of the Edwards, which I suspect it is, then that means that that coin is going to be from that kind of era. There we are. It is, as you can see there, a sixpence, dated 1877. You've got the sort of oak leaves on one side, you've got the, not sure what it is, on the other, and the date at the bottom, 1877. So this is a silver sixpence, and 6 pence back in 1877, that was a reasonable amount of money. That'd probably buy you 6 loaves of bread. I think a loaf of bread was about 1 penny. And on this side we've got the legend Victoria de Gracia Britannia Regina Fid Def. Victoria, by the grace of God, Queen of the Britons, Defender of the Faith. So Marty says, I said to him, is it silver? And he puts his hand out and he drops this into my hand, and it's a threepence. which I think is dated 1951, which I think is the same year I got earlier on from a similar area. However, he then goes and drops this into my hand, and that is a silver hammered coin. That is medieval. So I can see the letters CIVI, which is civvy. So it would say TAS there, city of. And then here we have got O, is it an O? Something something R, OWR, OVR. Oxford? No, it can't be Oxford. So we've got a hammered coin with a mint mark. I'm going to have a think about that one and come back to you. But on the other side, we have kind of got a bit of a face in the middle and the letter DWA, Edward. So it's Edward, probably Edward the 1st, 2nd or 3rd, which puts it somewhere between 1240, 1250 and 1350, give or take. So it is a hammered silver coin from probably around the time of the 1st or the 2nd Scottish Wars of Independence. Robert the Bruce, William Wallace, all of our most famous people in Scottish history. Brilliant, well done Martin, beautiful coin. We've just had a shout from Mr. Albert, I was going to say beginner, but we'll say moderate beginner in the distance, and he shouted that he's got a hammered coin. And he said he wasn't even going to dig the hole, so that's one of the good reasons why you should be a beginner metal detectorist, because they always seem to find the good stuff. Right, let's go and see what it looks like. Here we go, moment of truth. Here is Albert's hammered silver coin. It's seen better days, it's kind of missing the edge on one side. But on the back, I can definitely see a shield, and it would say something along the lines of, on this side, it would say something along the lines of Elizabeth Rosa Spina, Elizabeth, a rose without a thorn. And on the other side it would say the mint mark, which would probably be London. And that is a coin of Elizabeth I. Elizabeth I of England. It's going to date to sometime between about, when did she get on the throne? 1560s, 1563 maybe? Maybe it was 1540, I can't remember. No, I think it was 1560 something. And she ruled until 1603. Well, the light might be fading, but the coins keep on coming. And that is 4 hammers in a day and 4 threepences in a day, and more than 10 or 12 other coins as well. So this though is the oldest. This is a cut half, and it's been purposely cut because it's a short cross, what's called a voided penny. The cross had almost like a line down the middle of each section of the cross, so that people could cut them into halves or even quarters, and in some cases even eighths, depending on what they were buying, because the smallest denomination at the time was a penny. So if you were buying a loaf of bread, you maybe only needed half a coin or a quarter of a coin or even an eighth of a coin. And that means that this is really early. So this is either going to be Henry, Richard or John, which puts it probably sometime between about 1180 and 1260 or thereabouts. So that is by far the earliest that we've had so far, and it is a short cross hammered penny. Coming through at 87, 88, but it isn't great, but I'm going to dig it anyway, see what we get. It's a rare moment that you get to see my face, which means that I have potentially found something pretty amazing. I think that I might have just found the biggest hammered coin that I have ever discovered. So stay tuned because you won't want to miss it. Why is it that the best finds always seem to come just as you're running out of daylight? Now look at the size of that hole that I've just dug. If I had a pinpointer, then I would show you how deep it is. But, you know, I've got pretty big hands and it's a hand and a half deep. I'm guessing 12 inches, could be 13, could even be 14. But do you see what I see? Right there. That is, I believe, a hammered coin. I think it's a hammered coin. It's definitely silver, but I think it's hammered, and I think it might just be the biggest hammered coin that I have ever found. That is 100%, that is a hammered coin. 100% hammered. That is a monster. Oh, look at that. The reverse is even better than the obverse. Oh my God, look at that. It is a whopper. Look at the size of that. It is a massive silver coin. It's English. I think it's a shilling, which means it's 12 pence. Posve deum advoterum meum, I think is what the Latin is round the side. And it means something like, I have made God my helper. In the centre, you've got a shield. You've got 3 lions, top right and bottom left. And you've got the fleur-de-lis, the flowers of the lily of France, bottom right and top left. And on the other side, you can just about make out a head looking to the left-hand side, and the words Eliza, which is Elizabeth. In fact, it's Elizabeth with a B. Elizabeth, DG, de Gracia. And then it says ANG, England, FR, France, ET, and that bit there's worn, but it would say Hibernia, which is Ireland. And then lastly, Regina, which is Queen. So Queen Elizabeth of England, France, and Ireland. And that is an absolute beauty. Look at the size of that coin. It is massive. Absolutely massive. And I've just dropped it down the hole. It's not like me. I'm beginning to lose my mind. That is it there. I don't understand how that was so difficult to track down. I think my battery might be getting low in my pinpointer. Either that or it's something not right with it. But we might actually have... Is it a coin? You know what? It could be a silver. It could be a hammered coin. It could be a hammered coin. Right. Definitely got the right colour to it, hasn't it? Let's get the magic bottle out, and let's give her a scoosh down. Let's get you zoomed in for this. It's a hammered coin. That is 100% a hammered coin. Can't quite make out what it says though, but there is definitely writing on it. The other side. Oh, you beauty. We have got a thistle. A thistle of Scotland. You beauty. Well, that gives some suggestion that those other 2 coins that I got possibly are also of the same era. I'm guessing this is going to be Charles the First or Charles the Second. And that is, I don't know, a 10 pence, a 20 pence, a 50 pence. It looks like it's silver or silver plated, but that is a beautiful thistle with a crown above. Okay, let me give this a gentle dry off camera. You know, I almost gave up on this one as well because I just thought it's a bit of annoying tin foil. I think that might actually be a head there looking to the left hand side, which if it is, then that's going to be Charles the First, I think. Okay, let me give it a wee clean up and I'll get right back to you. I've temporarily turned off the XP Deus 2 because there's just a huge amount of mineralisation just at this point in the field for reasons as of yet unknown, so it's chirping away constantly, which is probably why I struggled so much to find it. Either that or it's because I'm useless at using the pinpoint probe or the battery's going dead. But XP Deus 2 has done it again. It's only went and found a beautiful little Scottish hammered coin. Now look at that, focus, let's get into the light, there we go. Now you can just make out a bearded figure looking to the left hand side, and it starts with the letters C-A-R for Carolus, and Carolus is the Latin name for Charles, and this is Charles the First. Charles the First, so Carolus DG de Gratia, which is by the grace of God, and then it looks like up here we've got Mag, which is great, so Great Britain. Then we've got FR for France, Et Hibernia Rex, I think. So that would be Charles the First by the grace of God, King of Great Britain, France and Ireland. So Charles the First, 1625 to 1649. I've got an aeroplane doing the loops over the top of me right now. Maybe they know what I've found, they're celebrating for me. And it's a silver coin. It is, I'm not sure what it is, if I'm honest. I'm reckoning it's probably maybe a 10 pence or a 20 pence or a 25 pence or something along those lines, maybe even a 40 pence. So I'm going to have to let one of you let me know that. Okay, we're out the hole, not particularly deep. Albert's detector, it was a bit iffy. It was kind of picking it up, kind of not picking it up, but now it's out the hole somewhere in this soil on the third spadeful. It was 100% picking it up, and he's saying it's a coin. And it is a coin, I think. And if it is, it's silver. It is silver. And it is George the Third. No, it's not. It's William. It's Gavilimus. There's just a bit of mud on it, but I'm going to wash it. It is 100% Gavilimus. William the Third of England, William the Fourth of Scotland, aka King Billy. There's the back. Oh, the back's pretty good as well. I can see a date. It looks like 1696. You beauty. Right, let me give it a wee dry up off camera. The sun is out. It's turned into a beautiful afternoon. And this is my second silver coin of the day. You dancer. So here it is. Gavilimus 111 de Gratia. William the Third by the grace of God. And William the Third is also known as William the Fourth of Scotland, and he's also known as King Billy. He was the King of England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales. He claimed to also be the King of France, but he was also the King of the various Dutch republics of Utrecht, Gelders, Holland, Friesland, if I remember rightly as well. So he was a busy man. And this is right slap bang in the middle of the Jacobite uprisings, the beginning of the Jacobite uprisings. William III seized power with his wife, who was Mary Stuart, and she was the daughter of James VII of Scotland, who was also James II of England, in what was called the Glorious Revolution. Basically, it was a coup. James VII and II had taken over from his brother Charles II in 1685, except he'd converted to Roman Catholicism, and that was too much, especially when he produced a son and heir who was also christened or to be raised as a practicing Roman Catholic. So William, his son-in-law, along with his daughter from his first marriage, Mary, were asked to come over and seize the throne of Great Britain, and that's exactly what they did. Supporters of the exiled James VII were called Jacobites or Jacobites, because James in Latin is Jacobus. And that is a really, really nice coin. On the other side, we can see a date of 1696 at the top there. Where is it? There it is. And then we've got the letters MAG, BR, Mag Britannia, France, FRA, and then it would say Et Hibernia, Rex. So basically it says King 1696 of Great Britain, France and Hibernia, Ireland. And in the centre would be the various symbols of Scotland, of Ireland, of England, and also of Holland. Beautiful. And I think that that's a shilling. It looks a little bit bigger than a sixpence, I think, but do let me know in the comments below. So there we go, that is a beautiful coin.